Please have come in.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Rajat, please take seat. Be comfortable.
Thank you so much, sir.
So, Rajat, you are from Maharashtra,
Yes, sir.
Ghadchiroli district.
Yes.
So, Ghadchiroli district, it's a forested area, right?
Yes, sir. 80% of its area is forested.
And then we had issues with regard to Naxals
Yes.
in the district.
Yes.
So what is the status now?
If we compare to last 10 years, sir, naxalism and civilian killing as well as poor security personnel killing has been reduced by 70%. So we are on verge of attaining the deadline of March 2026.
So what strategies have been followed to say eliminate?
Strategy has been two prongs, sir. First one is kinetically engaging the Naxals in the especially in the interior parts of the Ghadchiroli surrounding Chhattisgarh area. And second one is developmental approach under Samahan doctrine, aspirational district schemes. So these schemes have broke ice and we can see civilian infrastructure in deep areas.
Okay, good. So Maharashtra.
Yes, sir.
So you see, Maharashtra, when we became independent, Mumbai is anyway the commercial hub.
Yes.
It was highly industrialized state. Automobile sector initially went to Maharashtra.
Yes.
But of late, we have seen that other states have taken lead.
Yes.
Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka. So what do you think? What do you attribute to slowing down of, I would say, industrial development in Maharashtra as compared to other states?
Sir, as you have correctly mentioned, historically, Bombay has been the center of economic production. As we can see, the new cities and new states are developing. More planned, more organized, and more sophisticated infrastructure has been built, or built financially or physically. So it is more enabling compared to the previously retrofitting the previously already established district. We can see logistical support, railroads connecting the ports, and whatnot. So it is on the verge of rise.
So, is it more to do with also industrial policies? Giving more incentives to attract industry, which Maharashtra has not been able to do.
Surely, sir. Maharashtra has been able to capitalize upon both human resources and the resources available with it. But industrial policies are a point to talk about. But I can say that it is on a right path, sir. It will act as an engine of growth for economy of the nation.
Okay. So, you are a computer science engineer from NIT Nagpur.
Yes, sir.
Okay, computer science, very, very hot branch. People get huge salaries. So, you were never into software development? You never liked it?
I like it, sir. In fact, it was my first choice of career. Moving forward, I came across my colleagues, my teachers, and my friends. And then I came about civil services, sir. So I pursued it right after my graduation. I didn't go for private sector job.
So you never took up a job in the private sector?
No, sir.
So last 2018, you are preparing for the civil services.
Yes, sir.
So presently, you are assistant commandant in Central Reserve Police Force.
Yes, sir.
So what are other paramilitary forces in the country other than the CRPF?
Majorly, there are 6 paramilitary forces, sir, like CRPF, CISF, SSB, BSF, and ITBP. And we recognize Assam Rifles, which is mostly an affiliate of Army. It is deployed on the northeastern part, Myanmar border. So it is one of it, sir.
So CRPF, if we talk of CRPF, so how its role is different from the role of the police?
As we can see, Central Reserve Police Force, the name itself suggests that it is a centrally reserved police force. Its main mandate is to aid and assist the current civil government, as it is written in the CRPF Act. And it basically strong arms the civilian government's effort towards maintaining law and order and security.
Yeah. So, but is it reserved? But now CRP is deployed almost everywhere on a regular basis. It's not, and also it is one of the very, very large forces. What's the total manpower now?
Around 2.5 lakhs, sir.
So it's a huge force. So it is more being deployed on a regular basis.
Yes, sir.
So do you now you have also worked for around 3 years there. So do you think there are areas where you have conflict between CRPF and police when you are posted together for say law enforcement duties? So under whose command do you work?
I work under direct command of my commandant, sir. CRPF unit commandant. But we are always getting guidelines, intelligence, as well as operations to be performed from civil administration. So mostly SP of the district.
So at a field level, what kind of a coordination takes place between the police and CRPF? Or you like to work in silos, like, this particular area is given to CRPF, this particular area is with the police. How do you operate?
In fields, it is complete overlapping, completely coordinating approach. Because when we go to the jungle, we perform ops, and like 200 meters from the right side and left side of us will be a party of civil, like the state government, civil police, SOG. We perform numerous operations. Till now, I performed 100 plus operations, out of which 60, 70 were with civil police.
So like this district Kadmahal, Kandmahal, you posted Kandhamal.
Yes, sir.
So is it also Naxal affected?
Yes, sir. It is one of, there are only 3 Naxal affected districts left in Odisha, and Kandhamal is one of the hotbed of it.
I see. So like you are directly involved in operations?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I command a company of 134 men, and we routinely perform operations.
Good, very nice. So, okay, one question on international relations. So we have this, Ukraine-Russia war going on for a long time. So Trump has made a proposal for, peace in the area. So can you tell me 3-4 main highlights of what that proposal is about?
First things first, sir. The America's proposal for stopping Ukraine-Russia war, it comes from President Donald Trump's ideas. First one and foremost would be immediate ceasefire, and the current status quo, because Russia has been in the deep interiors of the Ukraine. It has captured a lot of area. So the current proposal is to maintain the status quo of that line, but it is opposed by Ukraine, stating that we want our area back. And beside this, sir, I would have to study about it, sir.
Rajat, good evening.
Good evening.
In your interest, you write you follow Indian foreign policy.
Yes.
But you have put IFS as option 3.
Yes.
After I means and
Yes.
why so?
There are some personal reasons as well, sir, and personal ambitions as well. I always got fascinated with the type of work Indian administrative service provides us. It gives multitude of areas where we can work. The decisions we make will touch lives in real time. And other than that, sir, I'm only child of my parents, and I lost my father during COVID. Currently, the job which I'm pursuing right now, it's very difficult to constantly cater to my mother's needs, because she lives by herself in Ghadchiroli. So I have these reasons.
These are the reasons why you gave IFS as option 3.
Yes, sir. Because foreign service will enable us to move outside, but it will always be a constant my hobby, because I like following Indian politics, sir, and Indian foreign policy particularly.
Okay, since you follow Indian foreign policy, let me ask you a question on the neighborhood. And because you were very close to Odisha, being close to Bangladesh, being in Odisha, we often see in our neighborhood that the internal unrest in these countries are often being put as blame on India.
Yes, sir.
Whatever happens inside is so-called India's invisible hand. That's what we have. How would you resolve this issue? It's a challenging issue in our neighborhood. India's image is getting constantly badgered, and we have our other objectives to fulfill, our ambitions, and yet we are caught in the neighborhood. How would you get out of this quagmire? What would you approach?
Yes. Indeed, sir, Bangladesh issue has been a challenging, because we can see the history of Bangladesh. It has been made out of efforts of India. It was a direct threat to our security and internal security. So, the current situation, we can see a political shift in Bangladesh enabled the opposition party, which is not so close to India. It is more on the lines of pro-China. So we can say the vested interest from outside and internal factioning between Bangladesh inside Bangladesh social fabric. So these are the main challenges which are being posed as a threat, and rather putting India as a poster boy for problems happening in Bangladesh. So to resolve it, sir, I would say first things first is develop a people-to-people trust building. We can see India has a wide diplomatic mission and wide economic and infrastructure-wise investments in the Bangladesh, and we can see that people-to-people connect is very high. Bengali is spoken in Bangladesh, which is almost the 5th largest spoken language in the world. So we have a lot in common, sir. But as we can see, scholar in geopolitics has said that in order to move forward, India must forget its geography and Bangladesh must forget its history. So we can be on the same platform together.
But people to people contact has always been tried. We've always tried people to people contact with Pakistan on the west, with Bangladesh on the east. It's still not worked. How does people to people contact work? On the contrary, a lot of people say that we should have a strong arm tactics to deal with these small countries. There should be far more stronger and forceful, even interventionist to a certain extent. I mean, that's how hard power works.
Yes, sir.
Right, so there is an argument here. How to deal with this? This people-to-people contact has not worked.
Yes, sir. So hard power will have immediate results and it will be visible. But it is the soft power that keeps our relations warm and long. As our ex-Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee said that we can choose our friends, but we cannot choose our neighbors. And as the geography is the main determinant here, so we will always have to be very cautious dealing with Bangladesh and very generous. We can see that we always offer all kinds of support during disaster, during economic crisis or political mismanagement, because we are geographically connected to it and we must be first and foremost help to the Bangladesh.
Okay, let me ask you a situational question.
Yes.
I want to see your response. You're posted as an IPS in a district,
Yes, sir.
close to the border. You receive intelligence of a possible terror module network, but the evidences are very weak. Right? You have only bits and pieces of evidences. But you have to act as a precautionary measure. And this can sort of violate civil liberty sort of violations. How will you balance the two? Balance security with rights?
Surely, sir. Some national security is first and foremost principle in existence or for any nation. At the same time, civil liberties is what makes us a democratic country, sir. What is nation? Nation is people. So the security of nation as well as security of people, we must devise a middle path for it. The information we have, will process it, will try to connect with it, will develop more intelligent sources, will analyze it, because well-analyzed information becomes intelligence. Even though if we have it in bits and pieces, we will act upon it, sir. Because even minor or single red flag when it comes to national security should not be ignored. So, sir, there's a thing called Swiss cheese theory. So the disaster, the holes in the cheese should not align so that it leads to a disaster. So we must be always cautious, sir, and act on national security.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, Rajat. So, do you think that we'll be able to finish this problem of naxalism by March 2026?
Surely, sir. As a ground commander working and operating in the field, I can totally see it happen by March 2026, sir.
Okay, so since you are also into the service in which you have the first-hand interaction, okay, how difficult it is to conduct all these operations when we have a human rights regime working, isn't it? Because you're on the ground, and there may be certain situation wherein human rights violation becomes a possibility. Okay, so do you think the regime of human rights as a hindrance in your operations?
Rather than hindrance, I would say it is a direction issued to the forces. When we operate, we go hostile because we are in such hostile places that any person we see, any moment we see the chapel, they are here to kill us. They are here to lay fire upon us. So we are always cautious that way. But at the same time, first things we ensure is person should hold a rifle. If the person is without rifle, even if he's Naxal, we cannot nap them or we cannot do any activity on them. So first things first, we are the forces of the nation and we act in defense. We don't have offensive powers. So we always anticipate that any possible attack can happen and then we respond that way. But taking into consideration the civilian safety first.
Okay. In your hobby, you have written that you like jungle navigation, isn't it? Let us imagine a situation that you are in jungle and it is night time and you don't have any equipment with yourself. How do you get the idea of direction?
So during night time, we have been taught astrology, like the positions of the star. There are few constellations in the sky which are constant. For example, Cassiopeia, a W-shaped constellation. That is the major indicator of the north. And other than that, sir, there are pole stars and there's a grilled bear. There's a constellation of 7 stars. So there are different indicators positioned in the sky and we are trained that way to identify it, sir. It is very easy to recognize north direction on clear day, on a clear sky day.
On a clear, and if the sky is not clear, any other way?
It would be challenging, sir. But then we'll have to wait till the sun clears, either that or till we get the sunlight. Because with the direction of the sun, we can easily see what north is.
Okay, but from Maharashtra, I see a paradox when I see a state like Maharashtra. While at one hand it is one of the most developed states in India, still there are instances of farmer suicides, isn't it? Especially in the Vidarbha region. Why this paradox exists?
Sir, it has to do more with geography than policy. As we can see, Maharashtra is an agricultural state. Historically, the Marathwada region and Vidarbha region, they are fulfilled with rivers, the tributaries of Godavari, Krishna. So these rivers drain and irrigate most of the areas in Maharashtra. But the geography of Marathwada, we can say, which is the prominent area where most farmer suicides happen. So there, the topography and climatic combination creates a kind of a drought-like situation, and that is far-flung. We need some canal irrigation and other types of irrigation, and whatever irrigation which is already available there has been diverted to some cash crops like sugarcane, as we can see. So that is the major reason, sir. Government is working on it and resolving it, sir.
But I think technology can be, can be used to solve this problem.
Surely, sir.
Okay. So, do you think that reorganization of the state is going to help in this matter, creating a separate Vidarbha Marathwada?
Sir, this question is debatable because it is a possibility, but it is not a conclusive evidence that small states work better. We can see the states like Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, they are almost complete affiliates of the center due to shortage of resources. So I don't think the size of the state is the problem here. It's the geographical position of that region and the policy support and handholding and basically farmers adapting to the techniques which are more relevant to the situation. So we can experiment millets or other things. So there needs to be a holistic solution, sir, because this problem has been existent for long enough. So I think it needs to be addressed with a multitude of approach.
Okay. Indian Constitution declares Indian state as a secular state.
Yes.
Isn't it? Which amendment, through which amendment it was done?
It was with 42nd Amendment.
42nd Amendment. Can you tell us the year of the amendment?
1973 or 74, something like this.
1976. Okay. So now there's a demand that the word secular should be removed, or there was another word which was that is socialist. Okay, and we saw that in 1991 India liberalized. We took many economic reforms, and there's a demand that these two words, secular and socialist, should be removed from the constitution, from the preamble, basically. What is your opinion on this?
Sir, it was the wisdom of our constitution makers.
But constitution makers did not add these words.
Yes, sir, to not add this. But moving forward, there's always a scope in constitution. The amendment power 368 is given to make the document more organic and more relevant and adaptable to the modern necessities. So with time, the wisdom of the government decided to add secular and socialist words. As we can see in our economic and socio-economic schemes, we are a socialist democratic country. But our socialism is not like Western socialism, where distribution happens in a centralized manner by a state. Ours is a mixed economy. We can see private sector and public sector both residing side by side and acting as a friend, philosopher, and guide to each other. So that has worked in our favor. We can see on one side private industries as well as government support in social spheres for town rodents. For most recent example would be during COVID time. We can see the food grains were given, all kinds of help which were provided by the government. They were necessity. So the mere socialist word is not just a word on the papers. It has cemented into reality on the ground. And when it comes to the word secular, India is and always has been a secular country. All kind of religions existed side by side together and prosperously. So I think a secular word makes justice to our scheme of things. on societal sphere, sir.
Okay, but critics often say that when this amendment was done in 1976, the parliament was on extension. That means since emergency was there,
Yes,
so it was working beyond 5 years. Okay, and it is not legitimate. It is not right that a parliament on extension should make such fundamental changes. So, do you subscribe to this view?
sir. Our constitution has embarked a system. That system is rather than person driven, is a process driven. And if it is an outcome of a right process, I don't think there's an issue for it being a legit or not. Because when constitution itself, when the government is itself in a emergency, so we need decision making at a breakneck speed. So that's what the constitution is providing, and all decisions taken during that time would be legitimate.
Okay, what is the opinion of Supreme Court on this? That the word secular and socialist should be there in the preamble or not?
I'm sorry, sir. I would have to read about it, sir.
Okay, thanks.
Just-